Only Dostoevsky, it seems, foresaw the coming of totalitarianism. Readers of Demons may remember that, I believe in chapter 7, which is the chapter where the ideological project of the Russian revolutionary terrorists and nihilists is sketched with in some detail. A character, the theorist of this revolutionary cell in this Russian provincial town, Shagalyov, lays out a vision of the totalitarian future. Of course, he famously remarks that by beginning with premises that celebrate or entail absolute freedom, we will conclude or end up with absolute despotism. Um, and this revolutionary elite will be dedicated to the eradication of the spiritual and cultural and philosophical and political wisdom of the past. So, chapter 7 of the Demons is quite remarkable because Dostoevsky even predicts that if this project ever saw the light of day, in other words, if this wasn't the mad scheme of an isolated revolutionary cell in a provincial town, as Dostoevsky presents it in The Demons, but of course he has something much broader in mind. He says 100 million people will perish. By the way, in America and Western Europe in the 60s, 1960s, that same thing, we've got to change the system. The idea that there's no intrinsic evil. And isn't it interesting and paradoxical that intellectuals who denied the existence or reality of intrinsic evil gave rise to a form of moral and political evil that was unprecedented in the history of humanity. And in some sense, I have a feeling that this version of the nihilist project is succeeding to a greater extent than the old totalitarianism succeeded, because the old totalitarianism, in a way, certainly had its fellow travelers and its true believers, but its cruelty and barbarism was and mendacity was there for all to see. And the party of nihilism today it controls what Gramsci called the commanding heights of society, and it is increasingly coercive